NuubCast. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I can't figure out why my stuff takes such a nosedive getting the games. My goodness. Anyway, welcome to NuubCast. This is Blamus bringing you a 1v1 here in Tal'Darim Altar between Shadowcrone, the red Protoss, and his opponent, the blue Zerg Steel Curtain. Steel Curtain is up in Pittsburgh, but down in Russia. Oh yeah. Love making random, what would that be? Historical / culture references? Yeah, don't get to do that very often. Shadowcrone, this is Tal'Darim, so you have two options in Tal'Darim. You can forgate, or you can forge fast expand. Looks like that is what Shadowcrone's going to be doing here against the Steel Curtain. Steel Curtain, more than likely a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And that a reference to the defensive line in the 1970s when it made sense to... See, this doesn't work. Control F? It does. Control F works. See, when I follow units, I usually just click on their portrait to follow them, because that's fast and easy. But Control F is the other way to do that. And I am just, I think Control Shift F works. That actually, so you don't have to hold it, and then it'll just follow it, and then you can just click away. But all that is too fast. Takes too long. So yeah, here it is. Forge Fast Expand. Welcome to NuubCast. I'm Blamus. For those who are not familiar, NuubCast is all about not promoting. We really don't promote anything. All what we do is we cast low-level games because we believe wholeheartedly that you ain't got to be a pro to play an entertaining game in StarCraft 2. Sorry, I just had a little brain I was about to say brain defecation, but that is a complete misnomer. If your brain takes a dump, actually, I guess it could be brain defecation. I wanted to say brain fart, but that would be flatulation, not defecation. Brain flatulence happens often here on NuubCast. I noticed I listened to yesterday's cast, and I say like and a ridiculously redonkulous amount. So one of my New Year's resolutions, it wasn't a New Year's resolution until just now. It just became a New Year's resolution. We are going there, ladies and gentlemen. Normally I don't make resolutions because I think they're stupid, because no one ever holds to them, myself included. So I just say, well, let's try and do this better now. Why does it have to be New Year's for you to resolve something? I get it, but whatever. And that was not a normal like. So yeah, I am going to endeavor to pay attention a little bit and try not to say like or I listened to my last cast, and maybe the last cast was just a little bit too, maybe it was abnormally high in the last cast. But something tells me it probably wasn't. And if I sound like that all the time, then I'm a moron, and you shouldn't listen to me talk. So yeah, Anyway, here we go. Shadowcrone's expansion up and running. Here comes the early roach aggression, which is pretty much par for the course if you are Zerg and you scout that the Protoss is going for a Forge Fast expand. You want to get early aggression on. You want to put pressure on the expansion because obviously the Protoss is going to have more trouble making units early because, of course, unlike the Zerg, they have to actually make buildings in order to produce units, which the Zerg really doesn't have to do because of the larva function. So it's very easy for... It's so sick that he's like sitting above this little platform and is out of vision. Redonkulous. You know what I mean? Lots of roaches. This is actually a pretty good push. And I caught myself there. See how often that happens. If these roaches push, they can take out this forge. They can take out this cyber core. And, well, maybe they can take out all 3 buildings without even being in range of the cannons, I think. Let's see if they try. Are some stalkers out here which can't get out of the base because of the blocking pylon, which is useful. The blocking pylon, I mean. I guess they're not out of range. I think if you put a few roaches down at the bottom, like 4 roaches right here, they'd be out of range of the cannon and they'd be able to shoot the forge. But he wasn't interested in that. And there's the observer giving some vision. Robo is up. And this pressure is probably not going to be effective anymore now that Shadowcrone is making more units. He's going to have to crack this pylon, though, if he wants to get out of here. Not using the forge for upgrades as of yet, but he does have a Stargate and is making voids. Where is that Stargate? Ah, I missed it. Making Void Rays, which is a pretty good unit against all of this this non-anti-air. Roach speed down for Steel Curtain. Getting an extra queen out. Producing lots of roaches. No, it looks like he just wants to get enough roaches to just push through and dominate. He's got to be careful, though, because if Shadowcrone gets enough, has enough force fields and enough stalkers, and maybe 2 is how many? He's got 2 void rays so far, and if he gets a couple more, if they get charged up, they can melt these roaches. The question is, what will he charge it on? He can charge it on this Nexus. Probably don't want to charge it on any of these buildings because they will die faster, obviously, if they're being used to charge roaches. Hydra's coming up. Did he see? No, he doesn't know anything about the air. So Hydras are an interesting choice here. I guess he could assume that it's just happening because... I don't know why you go... I mean, Roach Hydra used to be the default Zerg composition against Protoss. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's more like Ling Infester, Ling Roach Infester. I could be completely wrong about that. You Zergs can correct me. But it's been my assumption these days. I mean, now he has a reason to go Hydras because he he sees the air, so now he can happily go Hydras. But he still doesn't have any anti-air in his base, so I don't know why he's not. I guess now he has Hydras in his base. But the Roach is coming up. This is a bad push, leaving most of his army back here. Very bad push for the Zerg player. He did get a cannon. Now he's going home. He's getting the Hydras to come with. No creep. Let's see how this does. Is he going to attack? Is he going to wait? I mean, there's a lot of units in the red here. A lot of pumpkin units. And the Protoss, while he is down in supply... Yeah, wow, there's more harvesters. Wow. That's weird. 22 lings. So the Zerg has a fairly superior army, food-wise. But as I look at them, as I look at the two armies, I'm thinking that the Protoss army should be stronger. But we do keep seeing more and more lings and hydras being added on. And if the roaches tank well enough, this is a pretty dominating army. And we are seeing extended thermal lance. We have our first Colossus out. Zerglings chasing down this probe who wants to go get a third base. Oh, thrill! Thrill! I love to custom after I'm done casting, brah. Come on! I'm going to cast your game next, Thrill, I think. At least today I'm going to cast it. This is a big battle waiting. Shadowcrone has caught up. Steel Curtain taking a third. Interesting placement for a third. You know how much... what a nitpicker I am for expansion placement. I think positioning is so important in this game. I want to back these up a little bit so I can put cannons out there. Here come the lings. Out there for that specific purpose. Hey Void Ray, why don't you go kill those lings, bro? More roaches. More roaches. More hydras. More lings. We are +1 range. No carapace. Does he know about... Yeah, he's got to. Does he see the army composition? I mean, he's got to know that there's... Are the lings going to flank? Are you going to send them around the back? That might be the only way you can win this. I like this. See, you don't see this happen very often. This is a gold level game. I really appreciate that Steel Curtain put his roaches out front. That's going to help him so much. Look at this. The 5 gateway. Cannon block off. I love it. I love it. That's a way to protect your third. So these lings will not be able to get in, and they will get crushed by the cannons. He doesn't even need to leave that Void Ray there anymore. I guess for now he does. I wonder if there's a little leeway there. He does have room to get by. If he goes after this, he can get by. More roaches. Really want to protect the hydras. Hydras are going to be your damage dealers. 13 damage, 6 range. The problem is that you'll have to get your roaches all the way up in there in order for your hydras to be effective. You need to get them way in there. Now the hydras can focus. I would be focusing, and this may not be possible at this level of play, but I am focusing the hydras. As my roaches take out stalkers, I'm focusing hydras on the Colossus. And if I had to guess, I couldn't really pay attention. Or at least not pay attention, but I didn't see which was which. And obviously you saw that the army composition was just way in Protoss' favor. And, you know, it's a little disheartening. Not sure what could have been done better there for our Zerg player. And, you know, we've seen Shadowcrone do this. A lot of Protosses play this way. You play passive, the Zerg attacks, you crush them, you have a huge lead, you're on equal bases, so basically you finish maxing your army and then you go stomp them. And this is good. This is a good strategy. Got some Archons. What would have been better for the Zerg to do in that situation? And Zerg players, higher level Zerg players, can comment and you know, add to what I'm about to say. I think that if he had a couple of infestors to fungal the stalkers, they would have been thoroughly softened up for the roaches and the hydras. Yeah, those guys. He left his lings over here, so even though they would have been a very small protection against the Colossus, you know, it would have had that extra layer, and it would have been just one layer, but extra layer nonetheless. Now Shadowcrone is so far ahead, it's like not even funny. And unless, you know, unless Steel Curtain throws down like a couple macro hatches, he's just not going to have the production ability to catch up and, you know, get into this game. This is going to be problematic for him as well. He's going to go in here. He's going to be able to call the cancel after he kills the probe, but, you know, no biggie. No biggie. This game is firmly in Shadowcrone's hand. As soon as he wants to attack, he can. He's now making a mothership. Where is that coming out of? Here at the natural expansion. So he's got like the super duper death ball. Handful zealots, about 20 stalkers, give or take. Handful of Colossus, handful of Archons, and now a Mama ship to cover them all up. And now he can move out, even though he's not quite maxed. He's maxed enough, and he will roll with this army. I mean, if I'm Zerg, I see the army, and I'm like, whatever, I'm done. GG, quit. But Zergs, you have to stop attacking Protoss. A turtling Protoss, you have to stop attacking with Roach Hydra, unless, a couple things you could do. Add infestors, burrow them, have them on a separate hotkey, and then unburrow and fungal stalkers, or whatever you can, you know, have 3 or 4 of them and fungal everything. That will help soften up. You need to have your Hydras in the back. You need to have them focus fire Colossus. You have to. They can reach them, and you know, you have to have your roaches tanking damage while your Hydras are taking things out. Why is he backing off? Don't back away. You're 20 feet ahead. It's not even close. You're going to completely roll. He doesn't even have detection. Like, there's not even an overseer here. Why you're waiting, I don't understand. There it is. Finally, we have a couple of overseers morphing. But there's just not enough production here to be helpful. And the Phoenix they're not even going to be in this army. Is he going to vortex? He's going to vortex. Why are you vortexing? That's silly. Now all the Hydras focused on the mothership. They had to. The mothership, they focused on the mothership. They had to focus on the mothership. And look at this. This is all just aim moves. And that's fine. That's fine. Not a big deal. But the Hydras are focusing on the mothership so that they can see the other units, but just getting creamed because they are so very weak against Colossus. Expect GG any second now because it's 175 to 80 and decreasing very, very quickly. And Shadowcrone getting blink for whatever reason. This game became one-sided. It didn't start out one-sided. I thought that Steel Curtain did fine. He macroed fine. Probably needed another base or at least a macro hatch or two. And would have been a bit closer after that first attack. And Zerg players have to realize that of all the races, you cannot A-move. You cannot A-move roaches and hydras into any army, whether it's Terran or Protoss, you must control your army at every level. Every level, you've got to control your army because your units are so specific as to what they should be doing that if you A-move, the AI is not good enough to do that for you. I mean, the AI is much better than it was in Brood War, and some people would say worse because it's better. But you need to be able to have a little bit more unit control. What I liked that Steel Curtain did was, particularly right before that battle, separating out the roaches. He had a big roach pile and a big hydra pile. He left his zerglings out of it. Should have been zergling, roach, hydra. The zerglings would have helped a little bit more. He would have fared better. He might have still lost that battle, but it would have been a better trade, and maybe he would have had a better chance later on in the match, or at least an opportunity to get a fourth or macro up or whatever. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Good game, guys. More to come. Please don't forget to click on the Google ad links. It's very little effort on your part, but it helps me. Hopefully will help me to get a new microphone. That's what I'm gearing for. So either on the Google ad at the beginning of the video or at the end of the video, or both, or on the main YouTube page, whatever you want to do. Give me some clicks. Try to click every video if you watch. I'd really appreciate that. I have to. The mic cost about $80, but I need to raise 100 just in order to get paid from Google AdSense. I don't know how long it's going to take. It probably will take. I mean, if at the rate I'm going now, it will take me until 2013 just to be able to get a paycheck from Google. So to get any kind of check for $100 from Google will take the entire year. So hook me up, click a link, do me a solid, and keep climbing that ladder. Thanks, guys. Peace.